Learning objective B is going to have us graph absolute value functions. Notice the graph paper, it's XY ordered pairs. So what we have to do is come up with some XY ordered pairs. And this isn't too involved, but it takes a little bit of time. We're going to make our own ordered pairs. Remember, when we do that, X is the input, Y is the output. We get to pick our X's. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some numbers that I know are going to work pretty well. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pick 6, 3, 0, -3, and -6. So again, I chose those. On Schoology, I will tell you what X values to use, so look online, and then you'll have to type in your Y value answer. To do this, all I have to do is take the X values and put them into here and simplify. So really, you just evaluate. So this is going to be 1/3 times the absolute value of the number 6. Absolute value of 6 is just 6. So 6 times 1/3. By the way, I can make it a fraction by going over 1. That'd be 6 divided by 3, which is 2. Okay, let's put 3 in there. So 1/3 absolute value of 3. That'd be 1/3 times 3. It's 3 over 1. Multiply fractions, you go straight across. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We put 0 in. Absolute value of 0 is 0. Anything times 0 is just 0 and goes away. Let's put -3 in. Absolute value of -3 is +3. It's 3 over 1. Multiply across, 3 over 3 is 1. And the last one, let's put in -6. Absolute value of -6 is positive. Make a whole number a fraction. Straight across is 6 over 3, which is 2. If you plot these ordered pairs, let's do 6, 2, and I think I'm going to have to extend the paper a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That's 6. And I'm going to have to go over this direction too. So if I plot it, 6, 2 is going to be 6, 2. 3, 1, remember, right 3, up 1. 0, 0. -3, 1 is here. -6, 2 is here. If you connect these dots, what you're going to end up getting is a graph that looks like a V. Every absolute value graph that you make will always look like a V. Sometimes the V will be sitting at the origin. Sometimes it'll be shifted up in a different quadrant. Sometimes it'll be flipped over. But if it doesn't look like a V, it means you have a mathematical computation error in your Y values, so double check it. Here's another one. Let's pick our own X's. This time I'm going to do, how about we just do -1, 0, and 1. Okay? So I'm going to go here and say -3 times -1 absolute value. Absolute value of -1 is 1 times -3, -3. Now let's put in 0. So -3 times the absolute value of 0 is just 0. Put in 1. -3 times the absolute value of 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1 times -3 is -3. If we graph this, we have -1, so that means left 1, and then the Y is -3, so down 3. We have 0, 0. Then we have 1 and -3. This one will be a V shape that actually points downward. I will tell you, this negative in front of that 3, by the way, is going to cause that flip to happen. You may not recognize that yet, but if you just do the ordered pairs and look for the V shape, you will get it. Let's look at one more. Again, they want us to graph it on an XY plane, and I get to pick my X's. Here we have a little more range. Let's just go ahead and pick, how about we do -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 for some variety. At a minimum, you want to pick at least 3 or 4 ordered pairs. The key is you want to be able to see where that V shape starts and changes. That's called the vertex, by the way. But let's go ahead and do this. To simplify, I'm going to put -2 in, so 4 times the absolute value of -2. Absolute value of -2 is 2, times 4 would be 8. The next 4 times the absolute value of negative 1, that's going to be 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times the absolute value of 0, 0 is 0, times 4 is 0. 4 times the absolute value of 1, 1 is just 1, then times 4 is 4. And then 4 times the absolute value of 2, absolute value of 2 is positive 2, then times 4 is 8. Start to notice you do see some patterns here, so let's go ahead and graph it. It looks like I'm going to need a little bit more height on my y to get to 8, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's graph it. Negative 2, 8. Negative 1, 4. 0, 0. 1, 4, 2, 8. If I connect it, it's going to look like a V. And that, again, is the absolute value graph.